Pressures in the economy.
That was President Biden on his stop of his tour, this time in Detroit, Michigan, at a GM plant, saying his Build Back Better agenda won't cause more inflation. GOP lawmakers, though, not buying into it. Joining us now to discuss is Georgia Congressman Andrew Clyde. Congressman, good to see you, and thank you so much. Do you agree with the president?
Absolutely not. I do not agree with the president. As a matter of fact, is all this Build Back Better plan, which is truly, it should be called the Bernie Biden bankruptcy plan, is all this plan is going to do is increase inflation. We have seen inflation increase every month that President Biden has been in office, and now we're seeing it at a record 6.2%, a 0.9% increase last month alone. If you look at that over the course of a year, a 0.9% would be a 10% inflation increase. No, the Build Back Better plan is all it's going to do is it's going to bankrupt the economy, it's going to benefit the wealthy, and it will build the bureaucracy of government, and that is not healthy for our nation.
And to give him a fair shake, the president did go on to explain how his policies would not increase inflation. Here's that.
The policies I proposed, quote, help lift long-term economic growth via stronger productivity, labor force growth, as well as taking the edge off inflation.
What's your reaction to that?
Taking the edge off of inflation? I mean, you know, the proof is in facts. What we're actually seeing every solitary day. Gasoline up 61%. And this comes from increased government spending. We're seeing, you know, the $1.9 trillion bill that was passed earlier this year, the $1.2 trillion that was passed just a week or so ago. I mean, this particular government spending, when you put that much money into the economy and you have people out of work and the products are not being produced, then you have increased inflation. I mean, that's just basic business. Obviously, President Biden does not understand basic business. And, you know, they said that the inflation was going to be just a temporary inflation. No, we are seeing this is going to be permanent inflation. It will permanently damage our country. And President Biden has no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah, they're calling it transitory, though it seems to continue to rise each month over. You pointed out 0.9%, the highest in 31 years. I'm curious to know your thoughts on the House Speaker trying to get this passed in the House, the Build Back Better plan. Your thoughts on that, doing that without a CBO score?
You know, that's just another example of someone who doesn't understand how the economy works and doesn't understand business. How can you make a decision to spend billions upon billions of dollars? And right now we're looking at possibly, you know, $4.5 billion with $1.5 billion in increased taxes, and then $3 billion of it in increased debt. How can you do that without an actual CBO score where you don't know the exact amount of cost? Would you go buy something from the store where you don't know what the cost of it is and just say, oh, don't worry about it, just throw it on my credit card, whatever it's going to be, and max out your credit card and then just go get another one, max out another credit card? That's exactly what is happening in our country. And having the House vote on this bill, and we don't know if we're going to vote on this bill today or not. Right now, the Democrats are in somewhat of a disarray. They just don't know how to govern and even set a decent schedule. But you know, I don't know if we're gonna vote on this bill today. I hope not. I hope we wait until we find an actual CBO score on this, because that's the fiscally responsible thing to do.
Yeah.
And the Democrats aren't there.
It's a lot of money. You're talking, you know, trillions of dollars. Actually, we don't know, do we? We actually don't know the price long term there. You know, we've seen the weekly jobless claims out this morning. Again, not a big mover there. 268,000 unemployment claims there. Again, you're talking a percentage of claims. People still out of a job. I walk around the city here. There are now hiring signs just about everywhere I go. The jobs are out there. Final thoughts on that. Why aren't Americans going to work?
Well, I think that's because the government is offering benefits like the child tax credit, $300 a month per child. And now the Build Back Better Act takes away the requirement for a Social Security number, which means illegals can now get that. you know, there's 10 million unfilled jobs out there. People are not going back to work because of the government benefits that they receive for not working. And that's simply wrong. People need to work. There is dignity in work. And right now, the government is destroying that by paying people not to work.
Congressman Andrew Clyde joining us live. Congressman, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, John.
Still ahead, the judge in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial scorching the mainstream media and its